So, how did you get into Flesh and Blood? Because I've seen your channel. You're opening, booster packs, and you're opening mail and stuff. And I saw you pulled the Techo Foundry heart. That was so cool, man.
Yeah, it was my first legendary, and yeah, the other cards. I don't record so many box openings. So I open for myself, and yeah,
Mhm.
and yeah, sometimes I record it. But how I get in Flesh and Blood? Phew, uh, with the first announcement that there is a new game, a new TCG game. It was around the holidays or
Mm.
something, but yeah, it was not in the States or something. And I was thinking, hey, maybe it comes to the States and Europe.
Mhm.
Um, then we all watch Rudy.
Yep.
Rudy announced this video with Flesh and Blood, and it will come. It was the release of Archon Rising, the alpha. I guess it was the release,
Oh, so you're
or
talking
it's
about early in
in this
2020.
time. Yeah.
Wow.
Um, but we in Europe we didn't get one. We had no chance to get alpha versions. So it comes to America, and I was pissed off
Yeah.
because I saw the same 25 years ago where I bought or now I can say I did the wrong uh, um,
Well, yeah,
I,
with
I,
Magic the
I,
Gathering,
I,
right?
Magic Click Gathering, yeah.
Yeah.
I must go wrong 25 years ago. Um, I was 18, and my friends was they were in the high school and played
Mhm.
Magic. We played some kind of D&D. We had not D&D in Austria and Germany, license problems or something. So we had a kind of D&D. And so we played D&D, and then they played also the first Magic cards. And it was, hmm, is this a bubble? Should I buy this? You know.
Yeah.
And then no, I was 18. I bought my first car, and I had no really thinking. Yeah, I had no cash for this
Mm.
game, and it's a bubble or not, we don't know. So I played the first, or I bought the first Magic cards, Fallen Empires.
Mhm.
I didn't buy bought Arabian Nights, no Chronicles, it comes later, but no other stuff before. We didn't also didn't get the alpha
Mhm.
and beta, so we had Arabian Nights and then. But I was thinking it is a bubble, and I don't buy this. And yeah, I bought Arabian Nights, and
That's really
yeah.
good. Interesting point, HP. So you're saying 25 years ago, when Magic the Gathering came out, like even Alpha and Beta, the first sets didn't come to you. And what's interesting is I don't think it even came too much into the east coast of the US where I'm located. But when it came out, it felt like a bubble to you, Arabian Nights and, antiquities and such. Like, how much were the card values?
Yeah, then the card values, they pushed very hard after Arabian Nights. Arabian Nights was it was really strong cards and so on. So if you bought this, and they brought Arabian Nights, and then the other um, three series.
The
Fallen
Ursas?
Empires was the last. The Dark
Mm,
and Antiquities was
Antiquities, yeah.
Antiquities. And so first Arabian Nights was great, and then they wanted to make three kinds of or for every budget a booster pack. So you have the Dark, very cheap card, Fallen Empire, and Antiquities.
Mm,
But they not they had should Fallen Empires came to Christmas, and this was the wrong decision. They should have brought the better one to Christmas and not the the cheapest and the best of the three. So nobody wanted the Dark. Nobody bought
nobody?
the Dark. Nobody.
Wow.
Why?
It was a
I
small
could
set too, it was a very
I could
small.
get I could get two packs. Which pack you could buy? The best packs or the cheapest, and you cannot play with it. You yeah.
Oh, because the dark was too expensive?
No, the Dark was the cheapest
Oh,
one,
the
huh?
cheapest? What was the most expensive?
The Antiquities.
Oh, Antiquities, gotcha. Yeah,
Yeah.
Antiquities was all
And
about.
you have only two choices, and then comes Fallen Empires at holidays, and this was no, this was the wrong decision. And then there's overprinting and so. So if we compare it to now Flesh and Blood,
Uh-huh,
they did it much better, much better.
really?
We in Europe it's the same with the first or alpha editions.
Mhm.
We didn't get it like with Magic, but we got unlimited, and the difference between this unlimited Magic and these alpha versions are we always get now alpha versions.
Mm.
That's it. That's yeah.
Well, and
Compared to
when you compare them, right, you must be seeing history unfold, like, the same exact way, or, like,
yeah,
they've made tweaks to it, but if you think about it, they came out with the alpha and beta, and
yeah,
then the unlimited. Well, isn't Flesh and Blood doing that? They're alpha, beta, unlimited, and
yeah.
then after that, it comes revised. I mean, o
And then comes revised, and then they begin with lists. We must ban cards, and why? Because nobody gets Arabian Night cards. Oh, sorry.
you're good.
I hope you can hear it. Nobody gets these Arabian cards anymore, and they were too expensive, so they began to ban cards. But you don't need this in Flesh and Blood because you every time you will get unlimited Welcome to Ras or
Mhm.
Arcan Rising or whatever in the future. So the alpha versions are only for collectors. It's the different because yeah,
Yeah.
uh, the alpha versions in Magic was a alpha version, and you could play with it, and this is the different. You never will get alpha version now in Magic.
And this is a
They
cool
have this
perspective.
continuous.
'Cause you're in Vienna, right? You
Yeah,
yeah, that's really cool, and so, I haven't really heard anybody's perspective, from Europe, and also you've been around the block. I mean, you've seen this happen with Magic: The Gathering back in the day, and it's interesting to hear too that back in the day, there was talk of being a bubble, and these cards are overpriced,
yeah,
they're gonna go down, and then we're having the same discussions, today. Huh,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
cool,
yeah,
man.
yeah. And it was the first moment where I see the Rudy videos, and then it comes to America, but not to Europe. The same, and it begins in at this time that I was thinking, hey, this could be a new. Magic, a new top 5 or something, a new
Mhm.
TCG who had a similar beginning. And the the best part of this is we don't know how to play this game.
Yeah.
We didn't know how to play Magic at 1994 or something. We didn't know that. We had cards and what can't do this? So the same happened now, um, and this building community, this community building uh, at the times. Uh, there was also a community, but we had no internet like 99. Not like yet in
Yeah.
1994 and something, and there was a only that there was another kind of community,
It
but
was
it's
more
not so.
local, right? Because you didn't know if anyone else in the world was playing. But
Yeah,
now you can just go on the internet, you can go to YouTube, and you
yeah,
randomly see all these people talking about Flesh and Blood, where back in the day, Magic the Gathering, you couldn't really have that, it seems.
yeah, yeah. Back in the days, also now search Flesh and Blood bubble.
Mhm.
Oh, sorry, I closed my window.
Oh, you're good. I love that bell sound, man. Sounds like really cool European church bells. I mean, in America, we don't have that, so maybe
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
I think it's cool.
Yeah, and then in Europe, I don't hear it anymore, so it's in the background noise.
Oh,
So
yeah, because you're just so used to it, it just fades out.
yeah, yeah, totally. So well, yeah, the back day, the days back, um, we couldn't. We couldn't use internet and say, okay, search Flesh and Blood, and
Mhm.
if it's a bubble, go to Reddit and listen to other people what they say or something. It wasn't there. So you hear, oh, there is a flower called Black Lotus, and it's get expensive and expensive, and this is not normal. So we were thinking, there's something wrong with this game, and we couldn't get the cards, but they just started with the game. So uh, something wrong here. And this is the difference with Flesh and Blood. You have a alpha version, a first edition,
Mhm.
and then you will get unlimited access to these cards. So no reverse, no list of banned cards and so on.
Yeah. Yeah, and what's great about it too, from the aspect of comparison, which we've been doing, which I love, because it's really cool to see how they've taken a good model of trading card games and really built upon that. And the thing that, if you compare it to Magic: The Gathering, is that the power creep in all the sets so far, the last three, are very on point. They're very equal. Whereas you had alpha and beta, which were, reasonably balanced, but then, well, because it was the same cards, obviously. But then you have fallen empires and homelands that were just dud. The power creep was very low. But then you had the dark and antiquities, which it was very high. So it kind of, peaked in valleys. But with flesh and blood, it's all kind of the same. There
Yeah,
might be a little bit, but it's overall generally
yeah,
the
with
same.
expansions, supplemental, like Crew.
Hmm.
Um, I compared also with Arabian Nights because it's the first supplemental, and it has the biggest, strongest cards. If you have crew cards to your deck, then oh,
Yeah.
it's makes another kind of strong deck for every hero. So you will not only get for one color or something. Um, but it's that different to Magic. You had this Arabian Night, and you will never get this Arabian Night. So you and yeah, and looking into the future, the
Mhm.
next expand supplementals will be the same. We will get much higher power level cards, and yeah,
And it seems
that
like those
I
supplementals really just make
we
it
will.
so classes can build around each other, it seems, like, this gives them just a little ability to do this better, like, um, you had the spoils for war, I think, in Warrior, which really helped with the copper generation that the Kasai needed, and then you had other cards that I can't place, but they helped different classes do things a little bit better and form a different strategy over certain things. But yeah, the supplementals are interesting.
Yeah, and take a look at the cards what we have now. We have mostly one equipment
Hmm.
for a hero, and this is in a supplemental card. So I guess we will get with each a supplemental box. With each box we will get another hero item or yeah,
I think you're right.
legendary. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they'll add like at least one more legendary or majestic hero item to
So
really.
yeah,
Um,
so if I take the mechanologist, I have a legendary heart,
mhm.
and there is a tronic head equipment.
Uh
Sorry, I'm so funny. Or
huh. So I guess the boxes are telling you, man, you gotta play mech.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
This was my first card I
that's too
opened,
funny. What is your favorite
and
hero? Which one do you like to play?
the old Dota doll.
The what?
The old Dota doll. We have now the young Dota doll, and this the next. I guess we will see in Kingdoms the
Hmm.
old heroes from. Take a look at the. We have four heroes. They are young heroes, and we have no older versions of them.
Hmm.
And in Kingdoms, these are the heroes' kingdoms, and we will see the older versions of them. So I guess we will have an older data doll with. I will love the mech stuff in
I
it.
like that
So
speculation, man. I think you're right. Data Doll and a lot of the heroes will definitely have
yeah,
more older heroes. I don't know about what is it? Ira though. I personally think that Ira's the only one where she dies young because of Edge of Autumn. Because the Edge of Autumn like sipes your life force every time you attack. So I wonder if they're gonna do that.
yeah. I also cannot. Um, I don't know what we will see with Iroh if we see a older Iroh version,
Yeah.
but. Um, but I guess we will see these kingdoms with the older versions and of the heroes and before the crew release, the unlimited, because they need it for for the supplemental of the mechanics of the next in kingdoms will come the next heroes.
That's a good point.
So they will give us release. I guess in August or July or August, we will see crew again. So we have the mechanologists and the other um, hard supplemental. Yeah,
Yeah.
this this massive strong cards. Yeah,
So how's the local scene near you? Like, is there a really good local game store, or are you mainly playing online and stuff?
we have one local game store in Vienna. Um, we have more local game stores, but only one who's sell Flesh and Blood.
Hmm.
Um, there is another one. I don't know, but we have in Austria only one shop who's selling Flesh and Blood.
Oh wow.
Uh,
And are the
Yeah,
big shops around selling
we
it
have
or
we
just
have sorry.
or oh, I'm sorry. Are like the big shops around you selling Flesh and Blood? Like for me, the biggest shop around here in Florida is this one called Cool Stuff, and they decided not to hold it. And I still don't think they have it. But then there's a couple of other small places like this place Cloak and Blaster and the Collective. They're like smaller stores, but they decided to hold it, and it's really been a really good venture for them. But are there just a lot of stores out there in Vienna, but only a couple of them chose to have the product?
One, oh, I know a few magic shops where you can buy magic cards, but only one decided to sell also Flesh and Blood, sell
Mm,
also Flesh and Blood. Um, it's a new game. Nobody here. We are not in the states where it's much get more promoted or something.
yeah.
Um, and we have this lockdown. We cannot play. We have a lockdown. The stores can be open, but you cannot walk in the stores. So it's all online ordering, or you call them and they ship this to you. And yeah,
Mm,
it's a little bit different in Europe than in the States.
yeah. But that's what's so cool that you're picking up on it and you're starting to content create because, you can proudly say that you're the biggest content creator in Vienna, right?
Yeah,
No, but
it was
but that's so
also
important because
it
you get
was
the word out,
also
you know?
as I started with the idea to create content.
Hmm.
It was in September or around yeah, around the time you also began with this. That there was no information. A few um, that summer out. Uh,
Yeah,
where
Red Zone Rogue and
yeah, Red
DM
Zone Rogue
Armada.
did that. Yeah, but this was it. You had a handful of people you get content from,
Yeah.
and you you was I guess you are very you had influence to other Flesh and Blood creators, I guess.
I hope
Not
so.
only me, because I watched your videos and I watched your videos since the first 5 videos
Oh,
or
thanks, man.
something. Yeah.
Those videos were a little
you
hard to
had you had
watch.
you had also another content on it. You had coins on content from coins or something, no?
I think so. I forget. It's been so long, so many
Yeah,
videos.
because I have this hobby.
Mhm.
I also search for coins. Here in Europe. You have Roman coins under the
Yeah.
earth, in the soil. Yeah, you can search for it.
I
So
think
I get to your channel not because of Flesh and Blood. It was about the coins, and then you started to produce this Flesh and Blood content, and then oh, you do this the same thing coins, or I have other things as coins, but yeah, and and this Flesh and Blood, yeah, he's perfect.
yeah. I,
Sup.
honestly, I collect so much. I don't know if I submitted a video about coins. Like the channel I have is all around just yeah, just flesh and blood, but I forget if there's some other thing I produced out there. I'll have to look.
Oh,
But dude,
it,
I love like ancient
it,
coins. It's like a piece of history, and especially the Roman Empire. If you've looked into them, I mean, they were so dominant for such a long time. I don't know.
yeah, and we have all this stuff in our soil. You don't have it in the states, but uh, can't we go 5 minutes and I show you Roman history. I walk with you an hour away and you have a totally Roman
Yeah.
history, a city under the earth. So yeah, it's a little bit different than in the States where you know you don't have this history.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, because everything that's around me is just concrete and plastic that's been around for maybe 50 years in Florida.
Yeah,
So you can't dig up some,
yeah,
2,000-year-old piece of, huge history, but
yeah, yeah. And how do you call this? I have a metal detector.
mhm.
So it's not flesh and blood content anymore. But I searched for coins and so on, and I found, or my brother found with me, um, 3,000 years old part of a needle, of a hair needle. So we
Wow.
was the first humans that have this stuff after 3,000 years in hands. So yeah,
Wow.
it's it's strange to find some things.
Yeah, and I think that really puts a point to collectability, it's about history, but also time period. I mean, that needle, when it was back 3,000 years ago, it was no big deal. It's like, okay, it's just this. But now, 3,000 years later, that is such a big archaeological thing because it's like,
Yeah,
whoa, this was something from that long ago. And to tie it back into flesh and blood and collectability, people various times in the community and seeing the cards where they were, it's like it didn't really make sense. It was like, okay, this is an alpha enlightened strike rainbow foil. It's $50 back, in February of 2020. It's no big deal. It was like, okay, I can buy these everywhere. It's all good. But then as time moves on, things happen and things just appreciate in value because the game's a lot bigger, but then there's just a time aspect. As these cards
yeah,
get older, they're going to be less available due to a bunch of different circumstances, which makes them more collectible. And even now, I think there's so many different products out there for Flesh and Blood. If people are even getting it now, and they might not seem collectible now, but wait like a year or two, and there might not be that many around. I mean, what do you think about?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because like, what do
I,
you
I, I s-
collect?
I saw your was it with Kugane? You talked with Kugane,
Yep.
I think, about this. Yeah, about rappers, and I have here what I collect. I told you I began um, a few years ago.
Oh, wow. Is that City in a Bottle?
Yeah, yeah. this this is, you know what this cut do?
No. Oh, it destroys all cards from Arabian Nights, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's totally simple. You have a supplemental
Yeah.
that's too strong for all other cards, and do you have in this supplemental a card? Hey, you cannot play this card.
Yeah.
What? What? Just
It's powerful, man.
why? Why? Yeah, there's a few Arabian cards, Arabian Night cards. I
Yeah.
like this
You know what
eye
I
for
have?
an.
Oh, what? Oh,
I
that's a
like
really
this
good
also.
one. Those are good quality too.
Yeah, this my old cards. Ah,
Oh, is that Heart of
oh,
Wolf?
Blaze of Glory.
Oh, nice. And that looks like unlimited.
Yeah, this was not reprinted in revised.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
but this text, you must have a loop or something.
Well, and
Yeah,
and
so
that's a
nice.
good point too, is when Unlimited came out for Magic the Gathering, did you feel that it was like, "Oh, this is gonna be printed a ton. Like, this is an unlimited amount of cards that are gonna be printed so everyone can get them?" And I
as
don't wanna
magic
put
comes
words in
out,
your
or
mouth.
what you mean? As magic or as flesh and
Yeah,
blood?
with Magic, was unlimited that wordage with, Magic, did that feel that there's gonna be a ton of cards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also this thinking of, is this a bubble because we have this extremely expensive cards and then they will print to oblivion. So we don't, yeah, we don't know. Was it a bubble or is it a bubble? Or what's going on here? And so yeah, yeah, yeah,
And it's happening now. People are thinking things are a bubble. Oh, wow. Is that Fallen Empires?
yeah, yeah. Is this camera? The quality is not really
Quality
good,
looks
right?
good on my side, man. You're all good.
Homelands.
Are those beta?
No, revised.
Oh, revised? That's awesome.
Yeah, but also, guess $500 a pack? No?
Jeez, that's insane. How much for a wrapper? Yeah, and then Crucible War. And see, people
Yeah,
might see that Crucible War pack and they're like, "Oh, it's just a pack of cards." But in 20, 25 years, we're gonna see that Crucible War pack just like that pack of revised. It's gonna be the
yeah.
same thing.
I bought this over 20 years ago, and I have this in my box here.
That's awesome. And how much did you buy the
And
packs for?
now
Like,
also this one. So
yep, just sit and wait, man.
sitting with you.
That's cool, HB,
Yeah,
man.
these decks, these hero decks, are very nice. I think they are very nice. There was also this um, magic decks, Deckmaster, and so on. Um, but they were different with this hero decks, with this new Blitz
Mhm.
decks. You have a small deck, and you Blitz deck. You can, hey, play around 40 minutes, play. This is a great idea. This is a real great idea with this Blitz format now.
Oh, for sure. And that's something that I think that people aren't really talking about is that they changed the hero decks from constructed to blitz. And,
Yeah,
you've probably heard me say like a broken record so many times that, you know, 2020 was Flesh and Blood trying to be collectible and demonstrating their value as not only a collectible game but also as a strategic gameplay so you could actually play the game as it is intended and constructed. But in 2021, I think they're trying to increase the player base and increase the amount
yeah,
of market share. And to
yeah,
do that, the starter decks really encompass that. They said, okay, we're going to have you play our blitz format because
yeah,
blitz is better for like newer players and getting people to play fast games. So I
yeah,
think that was a really well executed thing, and not many people are asking like, hey, why did they change from constructed to blitz? And another theory that you could have too is like, are they going to try to make blitz the premier format? Like, are they going to even change Blitz's name to like, this is a more standard format of our game, but then constructed is more of a higher tier like worlds. I could see that happening where in the world event you play classic constructed, but then in every other format other than that you play blitz because it's just faster games. And when you're playing online in these tournaments, like even a blitz tournament will last like 7 hours with like 62 people. I can't imagine how long a classic constructed tournament with 62 people would last. It would probably last like, 10, 12 hours. But yeah,
yeah, yeah. It's a good question. I was also thinking about it. Will they have different kind of tournaments
yeah,
which people can play? If the best people from Blitz tournaments can play then in these constructed deck tournaments, or can everyone play these constructed deck tournaments? Yeah, we don't know. It's a, growing a growing community, and also the community gives some stuff back to LSS, so they can
Make changes.
um, sorry.
Oh, yeah, like, the community tells LSS, like, "Hey, this is what we think about your game," and then LSS takes the feedback and then
Yeah,
changes things. Yeah, you're right.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, what about the
We
community,
don't
man? Because 'Cause you've
we
been
don't talk about it, but there are also with this um, yeah, with the print runs and so they react on the community of the on the needs, and also the good example, they changed the Superas and Majestics, so you have Majestics. They not so many in total, but you have Majestic 6 in a box or something,
mm,
and it's better than Superiors.
yeah. Well, because super rares, you didn't know if you should be happy or not. You're like,
Yeah,
"Should I is this
yeah,
it's better than a rare, okay, but it's not like, oh, this is a majestic." So, it was kinda in that middle point where I think you didn't know if you should be too excited about pulling it.
yeah. At Magic, you had this U1, U2. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
This common one, common two. You had different kind of commons, or also rares.
Yep.
You know this old
Yeah, old
U1,
verbiage
U2.
for, rarity system.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know what you're talking about. Yeah, and then
We
they
have
revamped that to, the current stuff, but yeah, they used to have, like, U1, U2,
yeah,
and, like, U1 was a lot less printed than U2, I think, right? It was
yeah,
something
yeah,
like that,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Genau. Yeah, and we have this also in Flesh and Blood. I today I was ordering and was sorting my Welcome to Rust cards,
Mhm.
and you see what is rare, really rare, also in commons, and you see what is not so rare. And there
Yeah.
are difference, yeah.
That's a really good point, HP, and man, I don't think a lot of people realize that. And something that struck me as is that's very similar to they call it a short print. If you go to the collector center in Flesh and Blood and you go to a different set, you'll see like this was short printed 50%
Yeah,
or something. But maybe
yeah,
short print really just means okay, those were U1, but then everything else was U2, you know? And that's very similar. I didn't think about it
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah, 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 yeah. This is you have it, you have it.
Yeah, and that can be very deceptive.
Not every box is the same box, and you don't get the same cards in every box, so you must different, and yeah.
Yeah, and because when you're looking at 2 cards, you might see both of them are majestic, so you say, "Oh, okay, these are the same rarity," but that's completely wrong, because one of them's a lot more rare if it's short print.
I got have it here? Yeah. I have in my first Welcome to Rust box, this is Arcane Rising. Wait. In my first Arcane Rise, Welcome to Rust box, I
Uh-huh.
got two of them. One
Wow.
foil and one in normal.
Alpha
And the
Rampage.
second, I got a third. So it's not very majestic. It's only $5 or 7.
That's crazy.
Uh,
The box is telling you, man, you gotta play brute now. Did you get a scab
this
skin?
is
Oh, nice, you got an eye?
yeah.
How did that make you
I
feel?
I recorded it, but also with him.
Oh, nice. Command and Conquer?
Was in the same box. Yeah, yeah. Strange cards makes you lucky when you get
Yeah.
it.
Well, that's really cool. When you're opening these boxes and you do pull those big pulls, like, it makes you feel, like amazing. I mean, they do put it to where these cards are rare and expensive to get. But when you're opening the box, you really do get the value. And when you do get those, like an eye, yeah, I pulled an eye, I think maybe a month ago out of a box, and I was floored because I've seen so many people out there pull an Eye of Ophidia, and I was just like, wow, that looks like an awesome. And it was only it was unlimited, but even still, I was unlimited Eye is awesome, but yeah, it's just a really cool experience that they built into that box, man.
We talked about rarity. How many eyes are still there? Oh, yeah,
For for
unlimited.
unlimited.
Yeah. How
Okay.
many do you think? You,
Um.
you know, this is also for later collection. Um, the misprint. The L
Yeah.
is not
And that's
colored.
a huge misprint, dude. Like that is because then all you have
Correct.
to
Yeah.
do is it's the date. It has to be 2019 versus 2020. That's a huge misprint, and a lot of people are going to get burned, I think, on eBay when they sell an eye, and they don't even have to say
Ooh.
like alpha or anything. They can just say, "Hey, this is an eye of Ophidia. I'm selling it for $20,000." And if you're not
Oh,
looking for that little date print from 2019 to 2020, uh, you're gonna get burned. But to answer your
yeah.
question, so print run. This print run is a spicy topic, and I try not to talk about it way too much because I know it's very. It's kind of like that big. It's like that big bear. You know, it's a huge bear in the side of the room. It's just waiting to come in and just wreck the secondary market, and it's there. Everyone knows the bear exists,
Yeah.
but we
But
just don't
we
talk about the
don't
bear.
want to open the door and look.
Well, Legend Story Studio is going to do that soon when they update the collector center and they say,
Yeah.
"Hey, this is the bear exists. Here's how big the bear is. Here's the number of print run." So what we know so far is that with the James White post and this guy Tony AC Whammy, he's known as. I've talked about him before. Let me just go to the history. You know, he deciphered a Facebook post from James White, and he did really wrinkly brained math there and figured out that the print run was around 22,000 boxes. Now James had talked on a Rudy video for the Q&A and said that it's close to that. Now, if it was 22,000 boxes, that would give Arcane Rising alpha around 55 or 550 of those cards, right? So if we're talking about an alpha version being around 20,000 boxes or 22,000, then unlimited print, it's all about, I think, Xing, it's going to be a factor of around 20,000. So let's say it was 20,000 for Arcane and Welcome to Wrath. I think they could have at least ratcheted up to 100,000 or maybe even 80,000. So, I mean, my best guess is that it's like 2,000 of those eyes. I could be wrong, but the big factor that we have to take into play is I'm talking out my ass and I'm just saying just saying a random number, but also that these boxes were distributed on a much larger scale. When the beginning Arcane Rising alpha boxes were distributed, I think it was only to like the U.S. and to New Zealand and select places, but after I think it was October, around the October range is when they made different distribution networks to Europe and Vienna where you're at. So when they did that and then produced the unlimited product, you know it it really had to be spread a lot thinner. So you know, but even still, I don't think like was it like around here we didn't get too much Arcane Rising Unlimited. Like we got a good amount, but it just sold out very fast because the game was growing in popularity. But I mean, yeah, I can only see like 100,000 like but it could be a lot larger than that. We have no idea. Like Legend Story Studios could have. done, 200,000 box, and I'm talking about boxes. So I think it's around 100,000 boxes, but I think they could have easily ratcheted it to 200,000 boxes or whatnot. But another things to take into play too, and I'm sorry, I'm rambling on because there's so many different variables that you have to take into
Yeah.
consideration. But they printed it in, and people haven't really thought about this. Is I think the release date was October 2020, but they started printing this around probably July timeframe or around that earlier in 2020. When they did that, I don't know if they really realized the success of the game and that they would need to print excess of 100,000 boxes. And
No.
I don't know if they really would have had the foresight to do that. But also, people would need to realize that Legend Story Studios isn't this like big high-rise building with like with 2,000 employees. This is a small operation with 20 people in it, and they are very good about having liquidity and keeping up their business, and so they don't get in a position where they're screwed over. So I definitely think that they could have made it a smaller print around 100,000 because that's how much money that they had to print from Cartamundi. But anyway, I think I've outlined the whole history of that aspect. But
Yeah.
to answer your question, around 100K boxes, I think. So that's around 2,000 eyes or maybe 2,500 eyes. What do you think?
Yeah, with numbers is, but you are right. Yeah, um, they what I guess what you don't see in states, or you see, hey, we are in the states and we get this and we get this,
Hmm.
but as you said, the liquidity. So we they get Europe and Asia to this amount of cards that they must print
Oh
for
yeah.
the States. So I don't know if they thought, okay, we have in the States these alpha versions, and this was sold okay in half year or something, or yeah,
Hmm.
no, how long sold this? A half year or longer? Or yeah,
Oh
and
yeah.
okay, we will sell the next, the unlimited, in the same time, and we double it or so, something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then we have this crew release, and with Monarch, we start the next print run. I
Hmm.
was thinking, or I think they was not thinking about this amount of people who want to get these cards.
Oh,
So
totally agree.
as you said, they begin to print and they only want the same or double the for the first. It's not like in Magic where you have a print run and then you never print this stuff. So that
Yeah.
they have a first print run and they will print it to every year, unlimited version.
And what?
So I guess they was wanted only to print one print run and then the next at Monarch or something. Um, and
Yeah.
also, and then I guess they take the same amount for Europe and for Asia, like they did it with the alpha versions.
Mm.
You know, the first version you cannot sold out the first version normal in normal. You have a new product and you don't think, hey, in the first 3 weeks you
Yeah.
don't you sold out. It's impossible to start a business like this. So I was thinking they took the same amount for Europe and for Asia was that was planned for the alpha versions. So the unlimited came with this 2200 22
Oh,
Or
22,000? I think
yeah.
it's around 20,000, but yeah, around 23
I
thousand
guess
is
that
yeah.
they printed only the same amount for this and for the states a little bit more. So I guess there are only, yeah,
I like that
90.
point. Like, you think they
Yeah,
printed, like, 20,000 for states, 20,000 for Europe, 20,000 for Asia Pac, 20,000 yeah, I could definitely see that, especially with shipping containers. And that's a
yeah.
really good point too, is, all this stuff when it gets shipped from New Zealand to anywhere else, it needs to get into a big ass shipping container. So if you can run the numbers of how many booster boxes on pallets fit in a shipping container, you can relatively think, okay, it has to be a factor of this that got allocated most likely.
So I guess they had a factor of 2 or yeah, and
Yeah.
then they they recognized that
Yeah. But
yeah,
to your
we
point, I
must.
think it's a lot less than people think. I think the amount of booster boxes created for Unlimited will surprise a lot of people. And seeing how unlimited or how rare those are. And this is not investment advice, not stuff like that, but just it seems like there's things and you were around for, Chronicles and Magic the Gathering. Do you think there's gonna be some Chronicles type set of Flesh and Blood where they just print all the cards or all of, like, certain cards from existing sets into one set?
No, there is no need for.
Oh, that's true.
This is this was I talked before. You don't have a band list and must reprint cards because we don't get it anymore. We don't have any Arabian Nights print runs, so we must do make a series where we put in some older cards. It's not there. There is no need for.
Yeah. No, that's a
We
good
have
point.
unlimited version, and we will get these cards. So
It's crazy, man. I mean, the amount of things that have come out since, we've been around, things have changed a lot. I mean, do you remember in the beginning? I mean, around Crucible, I mean, this game was, starting to bud, but then it ramped up to so many levels.
yeah, we this feeling as Crew comes out, this hype, this hype. There was so an amount, a big hype for the, but not not constructed. We
Mm.
all in this community, and we get this, and wow, what cards, and wow, and yeah, all explode. And I want more of Arcan Rising. I want more, and yeah, I bought more. The first was I bought. I pre-ordered the Arcan Rising, 2 boxes of Arcan Rising, and one Flesh of Blood. One
Welcome
Welcome
to
to
Ram.
Us.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, okay, this is my stuff. But yeah,
But then you
Crew
want
comes
more,
out,
right?
and I
I don't know. That's how I am.
pre-order.
Even though I get stuff, I'm like, I just want more. Like, this stuff's awesome.
Yeah, not so good, but
Yeah. And I don't know
no.
about for you, is it hard to justify in your mind the spend because you're like, "Oh, everything that I've purchased so far has gone up in price." So, it's really not as much of a risk in my mind, and I think that's a fallacy that I have that, even though I buy stuff now, it's like it's no big deal because in the back of my mind, I'm like, "Oh, it'll just go up in price. It'll double in price. It's no big deal." But eventually that's gonna have to stop. I mean,
This will stop in some little no, waves.
yeah.
Uh, I bought the tech, no, not the Techno Core. I bought from, how was this called? The Magnetic Shockwave.
Nice.
It's a crew card
Yeah.
in foil. How much do you think cost this card?
Oh man, I think that's like a $150 card at least, right?
No,
No?
no. I bought it for 55
Wow.
US dollar.
55
And,
US dollar. Jeez.
and now I only know that weeks later um, it was around 30. So
Oh, it was around
it
30,
went
it went
up.
down?
Yeah, the
Oh.
people opened the boxes, and so we got more cards from Kroon. But as I bought it, this was in December. No, in the first week of January.
Mhm.
So there was no many crew cards opened. And also,
Oh.
when we get this unlimited crew, the EV price will sink, but the box price
Yeah,
goes
so
up.
I guess it's happened on a couple cards, it seems. I mean the Crucible War box you got in the back, and I have a couple of Crucible War boxes that I have to keep outside of my view because I don't trust myself. I'm gonna open it as fast as I can. But like I mean that's an example where like I was buying them for like I got a couple of good buys for like $100 each, and now they're just like $800. And then when I see other booster boxes, I'm like, is this going to happen again? I mean, it's just it's hard to imagine. And you've opened, Crucible War packs. Like, isn't it weird how you look back on those videos that you made and you're thinking, I was opening $30 packs, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have this rock
Yeah,
here, uh, stuff for other. Yeah, but here's my shield. I
yeah,
keep it sealed because good point. I bought my LGS make this pre-order. I make pre-order at my LGS,
uh-huh.
but one day too late.
Oh,
So I only got the packs and no box. I see he started the pre-orders and I saw it and I was thinking, yeah, okay, tomorrow I will order.
yeah.
There was no tomorrow. It was sold out in hours. In hours. At
Oh,
midnight, I looked and oh, fuck! I cannot order any box in hours. I don't know how much was the first how many cases he ordered, but yeah. Then he had a second pre-order. He got more from his um, distributor, so I could pre-order one box. But in the meantime, I ordered packs
yeah.
because I wanted one box, and so this cost with pre-order costs and taxes around $100.
Oh,
So I
nice.
ordered this and don't get it, and then okay, I order about this $100 packs, and I only got 15 packs. And
Oh,
in a
wow.
more normal box are 25, so I was a little pissed on. But then I could pre-order this, and I opened my packs and was watching. And I always need time to open some stuff. My first box I opened from Welcome to Rust. It takes days. I opened the first 6 packs. I looked at the card. I watched this. I have no stress with box openings in 50 minutes or something. I don't like this. So, well, I like to watch it, but I couldn't do it myself.
Oh,
So
because it's too
uh,
fast?
yeah, I want to know this card.
Yeah.
Uh, if I open a pack and only do uh,
Oh, I know
count
what you mean.
the
Like,
rares, it's
get the commons, throw them out. It's like,
yeah,
yeah, I know
yeah,
what you
yeah.
mean. And
No,
it's more of a calming thing for me. I don't know how it is for you, but when I open a booster box, that's me time, man. I open a box and it's just nice and chill. I'm like, oh, like, I want to enjoy the artwork. I'm with you there.
yeah, yeah. I want to show. I want to see the artwork, the different kinds, or I read the text, and yeah, I need time for this. I need time for this, and yeah, and I opened the first crew boxes. crew packs.
Hmm.
Uh, this was before Christmas, and the price goes up every day. You
Yeah.
can say it was significant.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I opened my packs, and then I wanted to do a video about this um, increase of value. I recorded it on the one day, and on the next day I recorded it again because there was $100 different.
Yeah.
So, what the fuck?
I know, dude.
I
I'm
never
the same
uploaded it
way.
because I couldn't get up to date with the
Yeah.
price. So I want to make a content with this significant increase
But
of
the price keep
yeah,
going like, yeah, and
every
dude, I
day
was in the
a new
same
video.
position. I know exactly how that is because when everything spiked back in, I think, I started in September, but when things were spiking like mid October, I had made all these videos about market prices for different things, and then it spiked, and I'm like, oh, I just gotta. I had all these videos scheduled out for the next week. I just uploaded them on the same day, and I was just like, oh, okay, just get them out in the world, and I put a date on them because they became outdated in like a day or
Yeah,
two. It was ridiculous. It's just that
yeah, and I
sometimes in this thing it just happens way too fast.
yeah, and I
Oh,
like this, and it's great that you make this content. Really, it's how you call this witness.
hmm,
Um, so in the time back with Magic, you had no internet and no YouTube was um,
he has no
logging
social
this
media.
progress of
Oh yeah,
this.
history, documenting the history of
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
You make history. You make flesh and blood history.
You do too, man.
Yeah, but I keep in background. So
No, well,
uh,
and that's the hidden thing with this is, I'm not getting paid to do this, but it's really intangible. It's an intangible feeling of, I was around for Flesh and Blood in the beginning, and the experience you have with Magic: The Gathering. I always wanted that. I always wanted to be like, had been from the beginning or very start of it, but I wasn't. Like I got into the game like way later on in life, so it wasn't as special. But being in Flesh and Blood, it's cool how you and I and a bunch of other people in the community like I feel like a founder, like we got in
yeah,
from the ground floor. It's a cool feeling, but also the game is amazing. I mean, I wouldn't be doing this if the game wasn't anything special, and it totally is. But yeah.
and LSS do a good job. Um, Look at the content creators.
Hmm.
That it's they all do their own stuff.
Yep.
Okay, you have an announcement. Everybody reacts to this announcement of LSS or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, it's normal. It's normal. But every content creator do his own stuff in his own. Um,
Like style
yeah,
or yeah.
yeah. This you cannot see this in Magic. You have this all same kind of video content creator, or yeah, how I can. Or I know other content creators or media creators, median creators. Um, they do also video for YouTube or something, but they do it professional, and they
Mhm.
have filters. They know what filter they use, what kind of effect is now trendy or not.
Yeah.
They do this professional. They know how they can do this videos, and we are all. Uh,
We're just all
what
normal guys in a normal room.
what is my best way to create content or to talk to people, only to talk to people, and you're the best example. You talk to people, you give your thoughts to others and so.
Oh, I
And
appreciate that, man. I just like to talk to people, and it's cool just recording, honestly. But I'm happy people just want to talk and record, and
yeah,
it's
you
cool getting
wanna
that out
share
there because
you
it
wanna
time
share this
does
feeling,
pass.
yeah?
Yeah,
You wanna share this feeling and want also a feedback, and it's a growing community, so
yeah.
we all share our experience with others, and, "Hey, this game is good. No, I don't know. Is it a bubble? Hey, yeah, and if it's a bubble, you have played this game. It's good game.
It's amazing.
It's amazing, yeah.
And people yeah, there's so many people who said, I took a look at Flesh and Blood, but I don't think it's anything special." But if you actually play the game, you realize, "Oh my gosh, this is so good." And look into all the other things like the artwork and the lore, it's just it has the full package. And you're right, the content creators out there, all of us together are just really cool. I mean, everyone's got their own style, which is really cool, and it's like you walk into an ice cream store, right? That's what I think of it. It's like a big ice cream store, and all of us are different scoops of ice cream. So you can have a bunch of different. But then other communities, it seems like it's more you have chocolate, vanilla, strawberry. That's it. But here you have like this is a Baskin Robbins. You have 54 flavors of ice cream. You have a ton of
Yeah,
different people, and even oh man, I'm just so happy in the last 3 months, there's just been so many more content creators out there, and it's awesome. I'm just loving to see like all these new people like doing their own thing and coming out because it's
yeah,
it's a time to record your experience and then look back on it when you're older in life and say, I did that, I was there.
yeah.
That's how
For
I
my
feel.
kids, maybe also they know what I do, and, yeah.
Well, yeah, because
Maybe for
you
the kids, they think in 20 years, "Hey, you was there. Hey, I know you did this, but I don't
yeah.
recall this." Yeah, for my kids, it's also funny, I guess.
Well,
Hey,
because you've probably seen
they
this
they
before, right?
get this in 20 years. Okay, maybe I give them my card and they sold it and build a new home or something.
Yeah.
You never know it. You never know it.
You never know, honestly. I
Yeah.
mean, do you remember when the Eye of Ophidias and the hearts were like 500 for alpha? 5 to 600?
And what cost a Lotus from an alpha version? It's not. And this is a um, first unlimited version, so
Yeah.
they keep
First
they keep.
unlimited. But it's true. I mean, I think it's still a thing. And like I said earlier, it's that bear, the unlimited bear, because you don't know how big the print run is for those cards. And that's something that they haven't really released too many print run information so far. They've just released it with, Rudy from Alpha Investments, and then the Collector Center they talked about those hero decks, which aren't that big of a
Yeah,
deal because those hero decks are just, bulk kind of commons and rares. Those are no big deal. But when you assign a physical number to a special card like you have there that has demand, that has usage and playability, we don't know what that's going to do.
I guess they was wanted to sell more of the hero decks.
Yeah,
You
probably.
have this. You have the same amount of per each hero deck as for the alpha. Uh, yeah, welcome to Rust box. So I guess this was all the same, and they wanted to sold more of them. Yeah. When you think we get Ira next weeks?
Iridex, like the 2020 ones?
Yeah,
I don't know. They've been talking about that Ira. You're talking about the welcome pack, right?
yeah, yeah,
Hopefully we get it soon. I've been hearing people say like, "Oh, it's coming," or "It's almost here" for a very long time, even since December, I think.
yeah.
Hopefully, honestly, I think that it's gonna come out. They're probably holding it out to Monarch, if I'm imagining. I mean, it's only 6 weeks away, I think. So I think that the welcome decks will probably be produced then, and especially because, you're somebody who goes into a local game store, right? And if they don't have first edition, well, at least you can get a welcome deck for free and try out the games. So, that could be a thing. But I don't know. Yeah, hopefully soon. And I just don't know when. I mean, that makes the most sense to me because they wanted them to be given out for free. And from what I've seen with Legend Story Studios is they hold information, they hold different hype until they release a set. And you've seen it, man. Do you remember release week for Unlimited? It was nuts. Like there's so much information and stuff coming out then, and for sure, Star City Games. Are you aware of them, Star City?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're a big Magic the Gathering store, and they've only sold Magic the Gathering products. They've only been about that. But a week ago, they started selling pre-orders for Monarch, which is huge. And the thing is, I bet that news is going to be released when Monarch hits, and they're going to say, "Wow, Star City Games is on it." And that affiliation is basically the same of Channel Fireball. Like
Yeah,
that's the equivalent there.
yeah.
So that's going to be an insane amount of hype. I know. And has it been quiet over there? Like we haven't really heard that much news in the last 2 months, and it's because they're holding it up. They're like a little squirrel, and then they're just gonna release it all at once.
Yeah. Uh, Release is a, it's another point. You got now releases of Arkham Rising and Welcome to Rose, or?
Hmm.
The second print run are
Yeah,
coming
yeah,
to you now, huh?
they are coming. Yeah, I think I just got a box recently from the second wave. Yeah.
Okay, because we have it since a month. We the release from the second print run was in the first February week or something.
Oh, you already received yours? Like for
Yeah,
February? Wow. Is it
we
still
had
on
it
shelves or
immediately,
did it sell
and
out?
I guess LSS was reacting of this.
Hmm.
We didn't got the alpha versions.
Hmm.
So I think they gave us first the next print run, so we had more cards, and then you got the uh, next one.
That's very
You know
fair
what I mean?
because yeah, I know that card availability in Europe hasn't been as good as the States. I mean, what about Crucible War? Is that like what's like the hardest set do you think to get over there in Vienna?
Uh, I can go to my LGS, and he has welcomed us and Arcan Rising since a month on store, so
Oh, okay, that's good.
no problem. But well, Crucible of War. Ah, I saw um, I saw on eBay from Germany for 1,500 and 2,000 one pack,
One
one
pack?
box,
One
one
box?
box. Well,
Wow.
stupid, stupid.
That's
Yeah,
insane. And that was something you got your box for like what, 100 euro or something? Like
100
yeah.
with shipping and tax.
Yeah. It, it's wild, man,
uh,
isn't it? I mean, I feel so. I look back at some videos where I open Crew, and I'm like, what was I doing? Like that, those boxes were essentially gold, and I think that a lot of people are going to look back now and think, oh, this thing was such a good thing to buy, and look at how much it's appreciated. It's scary, and
yeah.
for anyone who
and,
thinks
and
like,
I, I,
huh?
I I was also every day I was thinking, "Ah, do I open it? Do I open it?
I I don't know why you
1,000
keep it there,
euros
man.
or
I could not do what you're doing. You have a lot of self-control. I have to hide it like in my closet and not think about it. But if I had that behind me, I would just open it. And I have had boxes here before, but they're all opened. you know?
maybe okay, maybe it's that different because I have this pack since 25 years.
I think so.
So I didn't open it since 20 years. So and so I can have it here and yeah,
That's
look
great
at it
self-control.
and know now 700, 800 in a year, 2000 in 10 years,
A
you
house?
know.
Yeah,
So the next packs. Yeah, I wanted to buy single cards from alpha versions, but we in Europe you have no alpha versions. You don't get the boxes, and so nobody opened here and sell alpha version cards. But I wanted, yeah, I couldn't get.
yeah, like, the alpha packs were pretty expensive after they spiked, and when I wanted them finally, I was just like, this is too much money. I can't." Even though I mean it could go up, even further and further, and made it maybe it would have been a good buying opportunity. But it's just way too much for me, man. Like even last year in November, I was just like, I can't justify this. And
But didn't you bought alpha singles?
I did
Or
buy a bunch of alpha singles. I do
yeah,
have those. Oh, and you don't have any like alpha singles, like they just weren't
no,
anywhere.
no, nobody had boxes and nobody opened boxes, so we have no alpha cards here.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow. That's really interesting. Yeah, because
yeah.
I didn't get any like good alpha cards really. I only have one alpha tectonic plating, and I'm really lucky to have that, and I'm really happy. But other than that, I just have a lot of like bulk commons because these stores around me, they had just opened a ton of boxes and sold off the legendaries, and they had like a box full of commons, and they're like, yeah, we don't want this, like we'll sell them to you for like maybe 8 cents a piece or 7 cents.
Oh,
But I had to buy like 1,000 or 2,000 or sometimes even 5,000 common cards from, you know
okay.
yeah, but yeah, no, and those really haven't really shown up on the market too. It's weird.
No, but you must think in long term. Uh,
Oh
I
yeah, I'm
always
I'm
think
keeping
in
that.
years. I always think in years. But this is a strange thing now. We I know you a half year now or
Yeah,
something,
yeah.
or a bit longer, or but only a half year, and there was so much going on in this half year, and but in my mind, I'm thinking in years. So,
Yeah.
oh, so
Well,
what
you're
will
right.
come the next month? So,
If this much has happened in literally 6 months, yeah, I've only been doing YouTube and Into Flesh and Blood for the last half a year, and it's been like the insane roller coaster ride that it has been. Yeah, what can happen in the next 2 to 3, 4 years? If it's been like this for the rest of it, I don't know if I can handle it. It's gonna be too much for me. My heart can't take it. It's just nuts.
yeah, yeah, you're right. Yeah, we but this was the first. The hype was because in Europe and in Asia, they become the stuff, and I guess in Asia it's different to Europe. They are more in Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon and so on.
Yeah.
So there is another base. In Europe, we have no trading card.
Oh,
Magic
really?
was the first trading card game in Europe back in the days. So we have not this also these baseball cards, these collectible cards. We don't know this. We don't have this. So,
Magic was kinda like the
um,
first thing to enter into Europe, you
yeah,
think? Wow,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
There
didn't know
was
that.
yeah. Also with D&D, no? We played D&D, but not this real D&D because we couldn't get it license or something.
Mhm.
And there was a company they made for us a kind of D&D. So
D&D
there
was a
is
lot of
no
fun. You used to play
yeah.
it, like, back in the day?
Oh man, we have much fun and much beer
Yeah.
and
I feel
much
you,
man
man.
of
Just
war.
drink a beer and talk with friends and making jokes and yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then we always leveled our heroes, and so it was a funny time, funny time.
Did you play
And
like
we
base
also,
D&D?
sorry,
Did you play like first edition D&D?
we don't have this D&D. We have I don't know. I guess it was called Dark Eye or something. It was some kind of D&D. So
Mhm.
it was not the same, not the
Oh,
original.
I wanna look that up after we're done. That sounds really cool. I love looking at those, types of things and man, how cool would it be if Flesh and Blood became that? Where you could be a PvE D&D type thing where it's a role play game. I mean, what would you
Yeah,
think?
I don't know if they have mechanics or something in Monarch.
Yeah. Well, because you have the
Uh,
hero already, you know?
yeah, uh, I don't know what there will come in Monarch. They will. This is the problem. What we have with Magic, we have always we couldn't always play together against
Mhm.
1-to-1. But with D&D and also this idea of the hero, and we
Yep.
can get we level him up with equipment, with items or something, and then we can fight each hero against a big boss or
Yeah.
something. This would be great if this will come.
'Cause then you're on the same team. You don't have to worry,
Yeah.
everyone's on the plane
And
and
then you have a constructed deck. And for the small one-to-one games, you have PvP, you have a
Blitz.
small blitz deck,
Mhm.
and for the greater, yeah,
I'm looking forward to it. I think it's definitely gonna happen. I don't think it I could be wrong. I don't think it's gonna happen in 2021 on a large scale, that is. I think they're gonna do it later, maybe in 2022, 2023. I could definitely see them shifting focus for that because, right now I think they just have to increase their player base around, just their gameplay now. But hey, I could be wrong. If it comes out in the market, I'm gonna be ecstatic because it's just gonna get so many other people into the game that don't like the 1v1. They like to be on a team, but man, I can't believe it, or I can't wait for it.
yeah, maybe I don't know what they do I guess in autumn we will have more tournaments or events.
Yeah,
Yes. This is a half year. You know what?
I know.
In a half year, we talk again at the same at
Oh,
the
I'm down,
same day.
man, and reminisce on everything that's happened in a half year, and it's a lot.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part. Is this game really has a lot going on in just a half year. And the game's only been out for a year and a half. So if it's done so much so far, it just has so much promise in the future, and it will be around for a very long time if left untouched. And I mean, it has a very high likelihood of that happening because what we talked about earlier with liquidity and Legend Story Studios only being a 20 something person operation, their expenses are very low and their profit is very high. So they're going to continue for a very long time in my mind, unless somebody comes around and tries to go after them for some IP or legal stuff. Yeah, it's gonna be a long ride.
Yeah, and there is no Papa Hasbro.
Yeah,
You don't have this, "Hey, you have an amount of this card sold, I have" you don't have this, um, how you call it, I push every year I must push
agenda
my
and product
yeah,
and and get revenue. I know what you mean. Like they
yeah,
don't
yeah, yeah,
have, yeah, where they have to get like certain goals and have to increase their
yeah,
profit
yeah,
margin a lot. Yep.
exactly, exactly. I know it. I was in a company. Yeah, egal. Um, and this is with Papa Hasbro. You must have your next step and next step and next step.
Uh-huh.
But with Flesh and Blood, you don't have it.
Yeah.
There is no Papa Hasbro who has only the counts. He only counts. Don't know what this product is.
Yeah.
It's you know what I
Because
mean.
yeah, Hasbro is the parent company, but then Wizards of the Coast is the subsidiary company. And then when you have a relationship like that, you're right. Like Hasbro's like, we think you should be making 50 million instead of 40 million. And then Wizards of the Coast is like, well,
Exactly.
gotta print more cards. Let's see, let's do these
Exactly.
20 new secret layers. you know,
Mhm.
that'll
Yeah.
yeah, that'll uh rectify this revenue growth. But man, yeah, you're straight on. They're like beholden to nobody else. Like they have nobody above them. I mean, I think they definitely have a variety of investors, but I definitely think that those investors are very happy regardless. I mean, they realize that Legend Story Studios is killing it out there, and that yeah, that their investment has definitely gone up way high. I mean, the IP is so valuable now.
You know.
It's
But
wild, man.
as LSS, you must have this. Um, like you said before, you must have money to print the next print run and so on.
Hmm.
So it's not easy for LSS to have this hype.
Yeah.
I don't know if they calculated this in the year balance. So
No, that is an extremely good point, and it's so easy for everyone else to say, "Oh well, Bronson, the Welcome to Wrath booster box is increased in price, and the Arcane and the Crew," but that doesn't go to LSS. LSS
no.
sold these booster boxes to all these places for roughly, the 50 to 60 range. I don't know for sure. I'm
Mhm.
not a store, but that's for around. So their profit margin on these boxes what I don't know what their profit margin is, but it probably wasn't as high. I mean, let's say, I mean, maybe they're getting $20 a box, but even still, with all the shipping and all that stuff, they didn't make that much revenue in the grand scheme of things, I think, than, everyone thinks. So their bank account isn't very as high as it could have been to print a bunch of cards. And I don't mean to diss, I'm just saying to your point, they might have wanted to print unlimited, like, 500,000 boxes, but there's no way that they'd have the capital to do so. They only had the capital to maybe, print, a much less, maybe it's even less than 100,000. Maybe it's even 40,000 boxes. Maybe they just doubled the printing or 60,000. But yeah, and it'll be cool once we actually see the bear come into the room, when we see the print run numbers actually exist, because I could be totally wrong. Maybe they, and I know James White has he had a business before Flesh and Blood, and that was I think in the distribution of trading card games. So he definitely probably had a good amount of working capital, but even still, I don't know if it was that much to produce that much booster boxes. Who knows?
But it will come back. Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes time, but he's investing in this company and it will come back. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just so happy for him, man. Because, I mean, there's this there's a sheet that they sent out to all the stores, right? And it said, "Hey, we're LSS. We care about you as a store owner. We want the best thing for you guys, and we want you guys to be profitable." And it was awesome. And they gave these IRA welcome decks. This was in the beginning of 2020, and they gave them out to all these stores. And you know what? I think in my mind, a lot of stores didn't get back to him. They just ghosted him. They said, you know what? I don't know if I'm going to take a chance on this, but the stores that did take a chance, they reap the benefits, and now Legend Story Studios has a peg to stand on. They can say, hey, we might be, that underdog, but they're now getting to be a big fish. They started as like a little bass, but now they are like a much larger fish than they were, and now they have stores coming to them saying, "Hey, we want
Yeah.
your product. Please give us your
Yeah.
product." And that's such a cool thing because Legend Story Studios can at least say, "Hey, look, we contacted you before. You didn't want to work with us. So hey, now that we're
Yeah,
big, I don't know, we're going to be a little selective on who we choose." So yeah, I'm just really happy for them. They're a great group of people, and man, it's going to be cool to see what they do in the future.
in the next 6 months.
In the next in the next 6 months.
Hey, yeah, we will get so much news. This as they announced that they don't release unlimited crew.
Yeah,
So sorry, but they wanted only to trigger us. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So this was calculated. So they know we need crew. We need
mm,
this supplemental, and they know they print this in unlimited version. They cannot say, "Hey, no, we don't print crew." Then it's the next Arabian Nights, and then you have a ban list.
mm,
It never will happen. But no, we didn't know this at this time. So I know now, hey, okay, they will never have a ban list. They will print every first edition as unlimited. And if they don't do so, oh, I don't know what there will come.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's just wild, man. I mean, they have a ban list, and we'll see if they have to use it. I mean, well, like if they have to use it a lot, but it is weird how in the next 2 years, right, we're gonna have 6 more sets come out. So we're gonna have 200% more cards than we have now. And you're telling me that you're gonna have 9 sets of cards intermingle with one another, and you don't have to, rotate any out, and you just ban like certain ones. That's pretty impressive to me if they can actually pull that off. Because when you increase the card pool that much, you're just gonna have all these different cards that interact. And I mean, eventually you're going to find a combination that's like an infinite loop, or it does just some ridiculous thing way too fast in gameplay with different synergies. So I'm interested to see how they really adapt and how they build around that. And I mean, I want to get your take too with this is, so we know that they're going to print a lot more cards and there's not going to be ones that sets rotating out. Do you think that the way they're going to do that is just increase the amount of heroes? So let's say with Monarch, right, they don't print any Bravo or any Welcome to Wrath hero cards. Like Bravo doesn't get any cards, Dorinthia doesn't get any cards, and all those people, they don't get any cards anymore. Do you think that they're just gonna have 4 new classes, and then every base set they're gonna have, like, 4 new classes, so in 2 years, they're gonna have, like, let's see, how much would that be? Let's do a little math here. They're gonna have, like, 24 classes because they print 8 a year? I mean, then it would be a kinda way where once the class is all printed, then it's done. Like that's all the cards they have for their base. Now, of course, they can add generics later on as new classes come out. I mean, what do you think about that concept? Because that intrigues me. I can't wait. If they had 24 different classes, oh my gosh, that'd be so cool.
We will see what will with Kingdom comes.
Mm,
So how they different the classes and how the generics works, and we don't know what with Monarch with this dark and light
yeah,
will come. So uh,
they
we
gave us a
can,
little taste.
yeah, a small card. They triggered us with too small in this announcement from the was
Yeah, the
what
Monarch pre-release
the
stuff.
home edition, or how they called it,
Oh
home
yeah,
edition, where you can get two cards, two promo cards.
yeah, the at-home pre-release kit from TCG
Yeah,
Player.
yeah. We have only seen two cards, and we speculate all
Yeah.
kind of stuff. So
How's this gonna change the meta? And yeah.
I know this will come. No, no, this will come. No,
Yeah,
that's so funny.
it is.
But in a half year, yeah, we talk again.
Yep, that and plenty, plenty will come. It's just wild, and what intrigues me is that Monarch is going to be essentially a bunch of new mechanics that we haven't seen, and you and I have talked about it. A lot of people have talked about how that is going to be the full gaming experience that Legend Story Studios wanted. They just wanted to piece it out because it's going to be a little bit more addition, and it seems they ratcheted up from Welcome to Wrath to Arcane Rising when you have arcane damage. Now we're going to have something else. I mean, how are you like looking at it? Because when we came into the game, right, Arcane Rising was already available for me. So I didn't have that surprise of, whoa, there's this whole new mechanic. So with this whole Monarch thing, and everyone speculated to the wazoo, like you said, and at the end of the day, you just have to wait 2 months. Just sleep it off for 2 months, and you'll get to it. But I mean, what do you think is going to be in Monarch, or you know, what are you looking forward to?
Many generics, many generics.
Generics,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, generics. And regarding what you said before, um, these other heroes, we always have a younger and an older hero. So we have these four new heroes with Monarch, but we don't get new heroes with Kingdom.
We don't? Wait, that's what you
We
think?
get the older version with Kingdom. I think.
Yeah.
So we only get four new heroes each year and not 24.
Yeah.
you know, you know, and this supplemental. So
I like that
you know,
theory.
I guess we will see one new one pack, one box with four new heroes, and then another box with the older version of the heroes, and then supplemental each year. But yeah, all
Yeah.
speculative.
What are you looking forward to with your channel, man? Let's talk about that. So you're Fab Academy, right?
Yeah, yeah. I was planned in October, November. I coded a small Java app so you can um, have a collection manager with the
FabDB.
FabDB.net.
Yeah.
So I used his API um, and wanted to give this to patrons. So I have so many plans. I had so many plans, but then I changed this and did the FabTCG Academy channel, and yeah, the hype was running,
Yeah.
running, and yeah, but I have no time.
Yeah.
I'm working. I'm in the IT, so often I must work after the other goes home, and then I can do my stuff. Like this week, didn't have time for anything. Um, but I had to I plan a reporting, a monthly reporting about what was going on and maybe a few unpacks, but I'm not this unpack
Yeah,
man.
yeah. The
Um,
box openings.
so what I will do is six pack drafts, where I unpack six packs and do a draft or something. These are I have plans for it, but yeah, I recorded a few videos, but never uploaded. But
No,
yeah,
no, I like what you got so far, man. And you put the music in the background, but I totally feel you on that aspect. And I think in 2020 I had a lot more free time, and I was able to produce a lot more videos. But recently, just with my personal life, it's been tough, man. And I know I put out a lot of videos, but I schedule stuff out. I sometimes in a week I only have like 1 day where I can actually record and do stuff. So
Yeah,
literally I'll just make I'll just nonstop like, okay, what am I talking about next? Like, and then record it for 20 minutes. It's like, okay, what am I talking about next? And then I'll just have like a night where I literally just make like 7 videos, and then I'll
yeah,
publish them for like the next like, 2 weeks.
yeah.
And then that's it. And so when people see my content and they're online, they say, "Whoa, Bronson's really killing it every day." No, 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 no. That's literally like 1 day, and then the rest of the
But
week,
he
you know,
never
I
changed his shirt.
yeah, yeah. Then that's why the shirt stays the same. It's because you know, it's because it's all in one night. And I even had a guy ask that. He's like, "Yo, Bronson, are you okay? You only have one shirt. Do you need some donations there?" I thought that was, I thought that was really funny. It's just yeah, and that's how it is, man. And you have a good point there, and I think that a lot of people are like that. I think a lot of people who are getting in the flesh and blood are like us. We're not in high school, we're not in college, we don't have all this free time, so we can't play the game as much as we want to, and that's probably why the game has gotten a lot of knocks for playability, and not as many people are playing the game. I think it's because a lot of people are busy, man. I think it's a lot of people are we're older in life and we've got other
Yeah,
responsibilities, so we
you
can't
have
play it as much. But when
kids.
we do, oh man, it's so much fun.
Yeah, we all have. Yeah, and we take this time because it's fun, and we want to share this fun with others. And
Yep.
we do this we do this not for us because it's so funny to have no time for me private.
Yeah.
We do this because we want to share it. And um, ah, I did my videos, and I did also other videos, but didn't upload it. But I don't have this. I must have content on my channel,
Yeah.
or I have a few videos, but not uploaded because um, how can I say? It must be not perfect, but if I
Oh yeah, you
don't
have a
like my
standard.
videos, I don't share it with others because, yeah, you know what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean, and I had tough with that too, because as you've seen, like my videos are not high production quality. Like I
Oh,
especially back in the day. And but here's the thing, it's good because even though they're not high production quality, I focused only on talking and speaking and just doing it, which has gotten a lot more sustainable. Cuz if I had to actually like edit a lot of stuff and put music and all that stuff, it just takes a long time. So I do the best I can for what I got, but I feel you, man. Like there's a lot of videos I had in the past, and I think I've taken down at least 50 videos so far. Like I've
yeah,
just taken them
and
down because they're just not good.
some are. It's good that you deleted some of
Yeah,
your
but it's
videos.
good
Sorry,
practice, you know.
but
Like it's good
oh,
practice, and it makes you
I
better.
see. I had seen your grown, your progress in getting better and better. And
Thanks, man.
at the beginning, you was producing
Yeah,
so many stuff, and many stuffs. I was thinking, oh no, no,
yeah.
no, no, not the don't like button.
And the
So
visuals weren't very good, right? The visuals, because I used a different camera that was just really bad. So I've made some really good upgrades over the past, but it's because of those bad, videos that weren't as good that made me, progress. And but
you talked and talked and talked, and you had this progress. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
You needed to be in this progress, so it's okay.
yeah.
And I liked every video, so
Oh, thanks, man. And I went through your videos too, and
yeah.
I really like what you're doing, man. And I think that how you're doing it too, with like you you're in a different country, which is huge. And when someone from your country, goes on YouTube and wants, somebody who's speaking their native language as well, like I think that would be huge. Or just see somebody isn't, from where, they're around, and then you're there to, like, oh, I'm the content creator over here in Vienna. Like that's cool. I mean, because that's what this game needs is for it just to spread everywhere, But
At the beginning, we had no also in the States, we had no a handful of content creators,
yeah.
so and now we have a handful in Europe. Uh, I hope, this will also grow like in the last half year. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I have I have 50 yeah, I guess, over 50, channels, subbed because a half year ago there was only 5 and now, 10 times more.
Mhm.
So I hope there will be also more channels in Europe and more play the game and, when this lockdown is, yeah.
Oh, yeah, and we've got, yeah, I talked to Kugani Gaming, and he's in Europe, and, Arcbound Geek, he's over there in Italy, and it does seem a very big, increase, in content creators, and they're popping up in Europe now, and you're right, in the next half year, it's just gonna be even bigger, man.
We are only on the beginning, the first half year on the of the beginning of this. So it's only a so
Yeah.
small piece, so
Well, it's
we
funny because
don't
for
know
you,
what.
it's like deja vu, right? You're
Yeah,
seeing this,
yeah.
Crucible War, and you're saying, "Oh, this is just like Arabian Nights or The
Every
Dark."
Yeah, I posted on Twitter also. So this, yeah, it feels like the same, but I know what goes wrong at Magic, and I know what, LSS do better with with Flesh and Blood.
Yeah,
So it's, a déjà vu, but a better kind of.
yeah. Well, and over there, another topic is, don't you guys have a trading card game site that sells? It's like person to person site. Like we have a TCG player over here in the states, and I
No,
think
I wanted to use a TCG player, but it doesn't work in Austria.
yeah,
I,
but
I can use it, but I don't see prices or something else. I must change my address to German, to a German address.
mhm.
Then I see a few, but I guess in the States they all, only sell in the States, or maybe to Germany or French.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't they have the card market though? Isn't there another one? I think it's called the card market. I know there's another one that's very like TCG player that
Ah,
doesn't carry.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But they don't have Flesh and Blood. The
Yeah.
last time I was on there, but this would be great if
I think they
card
will
market.
on Monarch, man. I think that's probably going to be news because I've heard that in the background. Like people are like, "Hey, why doesn't this site have Flesh and Blood cards?" And it's just been like no answer. They're like, "Oh, we're looking into it," which was very surprised. Isn't it called the card market in Europe?
Yeah, the card market. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And it's great. It's like TCG players, but yeah, there are many stores, and so yeah, this would really it is help, LSS, with getting more second market.
yeah. I think that's coming in
And
Monarch, man.
the EV prices and box prices. Oh, this.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's really cool, man. It's quite a ride. I mean, I just can't imagine what it's gonna be like in 10 years, man. It's
yeah. It's like surfboarding, but don't know how big is
yeah,
the wave. So I'm surfing on a wave, but I don't know how big is this thing into
yeah.
back.
And the print
So
run stuff is definitely the biggest thing in the background that we'll have to see what happens because, with Magic the Gathering, it's been around, for more than 25 years. They still haven't released the print runs for their cards. Isn't that ridiculous? It's crazy. But Flesh and Blood, they're saying, hey, stay tuned. We're going to release these print runs, which is going to make some of those older sets. and I say older sets, which a year and a half, you know, it's gonna put a lot of demand on those in my mind.
Yeah, it was also nice as I had a phone call with my LGS and was talking at the beginning uh, about print runs, and he means, "What, you know how much print run is on Aerodeck or the decks, the hero decks?" And
Uh-huh.
yeah, go on the website from Flesh and Blood, you can see it. What, magic? Don't do that.
Yeah.
So he was surprised, and yeah, cool company and so on. Yeah, it's also for LGS is a great partner, or I guess. Oh, yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Are you looking forward to, I think, in when they do release Monarch First Edition, I think they're doing those pre-release kits for stores. And when they release them, I think you have to compete in like a sealed event where you spend like $30 and you get like 6 packs. You open them all up, you create a deck, and you play versus other people. Currently, I'm not sure if I'm going to do it yet or not. I've been very careful not to go out, certain places, but I think I might be pretty tempted to do that. Like, have you ever done like sealed events yourself?
We have a, as I said before, we have a lockdown, so we cannot go on the streets in the night or something. We are really closed. The most stores are really closed and so.
Oh wow,
So
like
we
they're
have
all
no
closed.
that for food and so something. They opened it, and after the holidays they opened much more. But yeah, don't talk about
Yeah,
this. But we don't have. My LJS wanted to also a skirmish event, but cancelled it
yeah,
because we cannot go to the LGS, and he said if he do it online, or I guess he said if you do it online, then not only people from Vienna or from Austria there come others, and then they will support the own the local community.
mm,
So I guess they cancelled all till we can go to a LGS, but to the store.
gotcha.
But
That
I
sounds
don't know
really safe, I guess. It's really smart they're doing that. But yeah, I mean, I guess in Europe they might have to do more of those pre-release kit at home. Ship them out. I mean, can you order from a couple different stores to have shipped to your house right now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. It's it's normal now for us only shop online, and
Yeah,
it's strange, but it's okay. I can call my LGS and, "Hey, I need this or something," and, "Yeah, do you have it or not?" And yeah,
and based on
it
Crucible
keeps
War.
I don't need this time to go in the per bus
Oh, I
or
feel you, man.
subway or something. I don't have this time, this 1 hour it takes to go and come again, so I have more time.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel you. Like if I went out to a place, I honestly I couldn't do it every day. I mean, there's this really cool new content creator. I don't know if you've seen him, Rob from Tolarian Dropouts, and he's been playing in literally every single tournament that he can get a hands on. Like over the weekend, he was up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and he was playing over in Sweden. And then like later that day, he was playing a game in Kentucky, like all on webcam. And then like the next day on Sunday, he was playing like two other games. He was playing like four different tournaments in a weekend. And man, I just love to see that grind. And if I was
Yeah.
back in the day in college or high school, that I would be competing in as much stuff as I can, especially because now it's all participation based for those promo cards from LSS, which is huge. So I mean, you really have more of a chance if you just get involved in as many tournaments as you can. But I'm the same way with you, man. Like I would love to do so much stuff out there in the community and get to go to local game stores a lot more, man. But it's just a time aspect. And when I do actually have time, it's like at like, you know, 9, 10 p.m. and it's like, well, everything's closed. I'm just gonna make a bunch of videos in my room and schedule them out. But yeah, I feel you, man.
Uh, what? Yeah, you know, Fab Cracks. You know Fab Cracks.
Yes.
He's so such a cool guy. I like this guy.
Dude, he
Um,
is he's an amazing guy. I actually talked to him for one of these drinking with Bronsons that's going to be released tomorrow. And I
oh,
talked with
cool.
him for like 4 hours straight. He's one of the most genuinely just nice people. He's such a nice guy. Thanks for plugging him. Yeah, that showed through in his videos. Like you really liked him.
Yeah, I like them. He he showed us with his first video
Yeah,
how what I told before, this different kind of content creator who have
yeah,
the 10 a Cobra Pearl with his 10 squats
yeah.
and you with with this bags in the background.
Yeah.
He,
Remember, he's like,
it
"You gotta
was
have bins in the
so,
background." When I saw
yeah,
that, I exploded laughing. I was just,
yeah,
it's just like,
it was so great and it was so funny. Yeah.
it was so, and
I
I
like
loved
this
how
guy.
he's like, yeah, he's like, "Oh, I have to do this. This is what like Louis does," and he talked about and the way it opened too. With the can opening, so it sounded like Session Blood. And, like, he did that, and then after that, he talked about, like, "Oh, I don't have a big beard like a rogue, like Red Zone Rogue." And then
Yeah,
he name dropped pretty much, like, a ton of content creators, and then even at the end, he had, like, other ones, like, around his screen. But yeah, man, just that video was really cool. Like, he's just gosh.
he nailed it perfectly.
He nailed it perfectly in the video, but also he's just a really nice guy. Like I love how,
Yeah,
he also plugged all the channels he could see and just yeah, he's and seeing like that people like him and you, like it's cool seeing people who just want to grow their community, It's like we're not doing this for money. There's no like I don't have like a deal signing in the background where I have to plug anyone, I'm just doing this because
yeah,
I want to and yeah, the
yeah,
game's
and
awesome.
he's also since I don't know. I know him since weeks, months. He also do some stuff on Twitter and so on times before, and now he comes with videos.
Yeah,
But
yeah. He does
also,
that in the
like me,
background.
I don't need to produce content. So, uh, and other funny guy, I love him also. Flesh and Blood
Oh, I don't know
Unsealed.
if I've seen him. The Unseals?
Yeah,
Oh, are you talking about the Saint guy? No.
on Twitch and on
Oh, I don't think I've
Unsealed.
seen this guy. I don't really go on Twitch,
No.
but no, I need to look. You need to
Also,
pin.
he has also content on YouTube, but I like him. He's so chill. He opens cases, but
Mhm.
chilling and I like him.
I'll
Crew
have to watch him.
boxes.
I think I've
He
heard of this
he
guy. I
do
just haven't seen him. But he just opens cases and he's just really chill about it.
yeah, and don't have this. Oh, you must watch him. You must watch him. You must watch him. He's really nice guy. Uh,
I gotta check him
there,
out. There's so many
there
cool
are
people.
many people. There are many content creators. I guess they are good guys, and only they're not this. Hmm.
like corporate
I have
entity?
I have my problems with English to compare to English words. Um, there are many content creators for other games. They have this strictly. I don't know how I could
I think I know
compare,
what you
but
mean. Like they're affiliated with something, or they're just they have an agenda in the background, or they're
yeah,
not very authentic. It's very like cookie cutter esque.
yeah,
Yeah,
this you must have that you are in a position in YouTube ranking. So it's this was I know media creator, the know how which filter or which effect they must use for this kind or that kind. So yeah, they are we will see in the next months much more content creator, and I don't know um, what we will see. We will see much more gameplay, or we will see much more box openings, or a different kind of stuff. So I
yeah.
want say before. Um, Also, what I want to do with my channel was in my mind commentary, play tournaments commentary. You did it, and this is great.
Oh
This is
yeah.
great. I like this art of content.
Oh, thanks,
I
man.
also want. I also want comment plays or yeah.
You could
This,
definitely do it, man. I mean, honestly, like uh, there's a lot of tournaments out there that aren't being streamed, and
yeah,
me myself, I think even if someone can just stream it and just put it on the web, great job. Any more content out there for Flesh and Blood is perfect. But yeah, I mean, that would be really cool if you did commentary on like, on online games and stuff. It's just, yeah, the time commitment when I did that recently, I did it with AJ from Adventure Co Gaming. I don't know if you noticed, but they put his thing on week 3 of Legend Story Studios site that said,
yeah,
"Hey,
yeah,
yeah." I thought that was so
yeah,
cool. I was like, "Ah, good on him." They plugged him and
yeah.
Rob. But yeah, I commentated with him the whole time, and it was a lot of fun. And I'm not that really good with the game. Like AJ is really good. He knows the rules really well, and he can understand like exactly what is happening. But I'm more like, wow, that was a big attack. That was a small attack, you know. But yeah, overall, it's just fun to just watch people play.
No, it was great. It was
Well,
great.
thanks.
Yeah. And it makes fun. It is fun to do this. Yeah, uh, I don't know if I can. I have the problems with not Latin. English is not my native language, so um, maybe I do it in German, but we
Dude,
don't have so
yeah, I mean,
much people playing Flesh and Blood. So yeah,
but I think it's just a matter of time, really, and when people concede in their native language, I think you could be really big there. I don't know. All I know is when I first started YouTube, it's easy for people to look at me now and say like, oh, he's one of the content creators that makes a lot of stuff. But back in the day, I only had like 20 people subscribed to me, and like my views were very small. But as this game progresses and as it gets bigger, I mean, it'll get bigger in Germany by far, and I think it's you know once now that the cards are out there and once Monarch gets released, it's gonna be huge. But yeah, man, and what do you think about that with like creating content in German or English? And dude, I salute you because I'm very fortunate that I can just speak English and that be done. And you're speaking English great, man. Like I don't speak any other language, so it's extremely impressive to me. But like, what do you think with content creating? Like, do you find it hard? Like, you're like, should I do two videos, one in English or German, or do you just have to like do one and not the other?
This is why my unboxings have no comment because I
Yeah.
don't must talk English and German, or what do I do? So I I strictly said, okay, no comments on the cards. I want to see the cards, and yeah.
Yeah.
But um, it's hard to be not an English native speaker, or not an English YouTube content creator, because everybody can talk English, or knows English, learned English. And also in Austria, or Germany, we mostly look also English videos, and I don't know if there's someone wants German videos. So it's, yeah,
Yeah, it's
I
hard to
don't know.
tell. I mean, I definitely think there could be a big thing in that, especially if you are like the main guy for it. But it's all about how you want to, it's totally up to you. I mean, the great thing about, this drinking with Bronson series is when I first started, I didn't think anyone would wanna listen to my ass talk for, like, 2 hours. Like, and that's why
No,
I tried
really.
to make, like, 5-minute videos because I was like, "Okay, people probably want just short and sweet." But then I got contacted by this one guy, and he said, "Hey, Bronson, really like your stuff, but I listen to it when I'm on the road. Could you make it longer?" And then I started making longer and longer videos. And then
Great, yeah.
yeah, and then when I finally began talking to people like Mitch from Midtown Merchant, we just continued talking for a long period of time. It just felt natural. It's like me and you talking right now. I mean, we've talked for like, around 2 hours right now. And it just goes by so fast, and it's one of the most rewarding content I like on my channel, and I never would have thought that it was something in the beginning, and I think that this kind of loops around to your point where out there in Flesh and Blood, there's a bunch of different types of content. Like everyone has their own little scoop of ice cream, everyone's doing something different. And that's beautiful because, you know, certain things might not be as popular, but certain things you might like. You might like something that other people really don't like. So it's really great how there's just a bunch of different variety out there. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think the biggest thing about, speaking other languages in videos is that you're getting other people from a bunch of that might not be interested in just native speaking or in English speaking videos, and you're like, oh, like if someone speaks German, they're like, oh, cool, like this guy is near me, and this more identifies with him. I don't know, but it's a
Yeah.
skill, man. I commend you. It's cool how you can speak multiple languages. I wish I could, honestly.
Oh, this shouldn't be a problem when you learn it in ground school. Um, um, I know two other people who make content in German, and also opened Flesh and Blood boxes, but they also make Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh and so on.
Mm,
But you're right. I was writing this in was it the 1st January? It was Sylvester. Happy New Year, and I wrote um, LSS about, hey, I want to create a new channel, and
yeah.
uh, I'm the only one who's only concentrated on Flesh and Blood, and not Yu-Gi-Oh and so on. Yeah, so many German peoples, and I asked them if they can provide me with this banner you have in the background,
Mhm.
because my LGS didn't have one, didn't get stuff, and so on. It was funny. I wrote this 2 months ago, and yeah, it was not so good to write in midnight. I also write yo. Um, Also mails at midnight, and it was a little bit strange.
Oh, I mean,
So,
you never know what could happen in the future, and they're very, um, It takes them a while, I think, to get back to stuff, especially with their, their busy schedules, especially recently. But I mean, you can also have it printed. I've heard of different people printing this same banner from print shops around,
Yeah,
and getting it delivered. I definitely had the map you have in the background.
yeah,
I have like
both
this
of you.
big map like this of that.
Yeah.
It came out kind of good. It was like $40, but and I really appreciate your time today, HP. I love what you're doing. Like Fab TCG Academy, you're spreading the great word of Flesh and Blood. Long live Flesh and Blood, and you've been I it's been great talking to you and just keeping up correspondence, man. You're a really cool guy. Like, is there anything else you want to plug at the end?
No, I guess we talked so much, and we see what we have in a half year. In 6 months, we talk again.
Sounds good, man. Well, appreciate the time, man, and hope you have a good one. I'll see you around.
See ya.
Peace.
Ciao.